Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, D'Anthony. Welcome to Drinkin Bros Sports Companion Show. If you hear a little bit of pep in my step today, it's because Daddy fucking came home last night with 2 parlays, a 6-point teaser, a normal parlay. I picked the Chiefs straight up and the Green Bay Packers straight up. Won $3,870 last night, American dollars. Everybody in Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook bet that with me. We all shared a nice laugh.
There was another Drinkin Bro
dance
that won 500 straight last night.
Yeah.
A bunch of people made that bet, but I think he only put 120 on it. I think it was his winnings from the weekend, and he just put them all in those 2 parlays.
He did, and he crushed.
Or at least on one of the parlays. I don't know if he did both.
He crushed. Just in that little thread last night in there. By the way, all of our real bets, you can see my actual betting slips in there. Just sign up for Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. It's free, and you can talk as much shit as you like. But with that, my lock of the week, we'll start with the good news. Last night was great news. My lock of the week was great news. I told everybody to take Georgia over Auburn at -6.5. Georgia absolutely wiped the floors with them. It was 27-6. It's one of those games where you bet on, and at halftime you already know you got it, so you can start thinking about other things. Maybe cruise on over to Pornhub, put the game on mute. There's no need for that. That type of sitch, and you're welcome for that. Now, where I want to apologize to you, myself, my friends, and my family, is putting money on the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys.
No Bears, no Cowboys, no Oregon.
Boy,
those are teams you should never bet on.
Oh, so now is the Ross Patterson apology tour for that. Here's where I got lost in the sauce on the Cowboys, and I'll come clean with it. I think the Browns are a terrible football team. I think Baker Mayfield is awful. He is definitely not the long-term answer for that fucking sports program. When you drafted him 3 years ago, in that draft, I said live on this show, the best quarterback in this draft is Josh Allen. Now, Baker Mayfield goes out and breaks all the rookie records, and every Browns fan told me to go fuck myself, and now here we are with Josh Allen looking like a goddamn stallion out there. He runs, he throws. If he only had a better team around him, that dude could win a Super Bowl one day, and I hope it's in Buffalo because nobody deserves a Super Bowl more than the Buffalo Bills sports fans. Let's face it. It's all we want to see. Look, the Falcons are the Falcons, man, and you know that, and I'll get to them in a second. But with all that being said, I thought for sure the Cowboys, because they looked great against Seattle, and they were 1 4th-down play away from beating the Seahawks. I thought for sure the Cowboys would put up 45 points in that game and win that game. 45-28 is what I had in my mind, right? I was unaware that the defense of the Cowboys has completely given up on their franchise, on each other, and on their family members that are in the stands because, the Cowboys still have fans in the stadium right now. They gave up 48 points to the Browns. Dak Prescott, by the way, when we did the fantasy football show, I said, look, this is my sleeper of the year. Take him in the 5th round. He will score all of the points this year. And he has. Every game, that guy is dropping 35 points a game in fantasy. They have no defense to help this guy out. And I don't know what you do with this team because on paper to me, the Dallas Cowboys are the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Yep.
You have a solid quarterback. You have superstar wide receivers. You have a superstar running back.
That offense can't get any better unless you get a more consistent quarterback than Dak Prescott. But let's be real. The premium on good and consistent quarterbacks in the NFL is the reason why Patrick Mahomes got one of the richest contracts in sports history, or maybe we'll see how it goes over the course of his career.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be surpassed here. And I personally wouldn't pay Dak Prescott that money, but you can't argue with his numbers. I think he's number 2 fantasy-wise behind Russell Wilson right now. As far as fantasy points go. And, look, man, anybody who drafted Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in the first round, sorry, it's Dak Prescott's it too, and,
Well,
he's probably going to get that contract from the Cowboys.
I got Russell Wilson and
he's great,
and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has been fantastic as well this year.
We need to go to a 2-quarterback league this time,
or trade. I would if I were you. I'd trade.
We'll
for
see if you're out
back.
there in Drinkin Bros Sports and you need a quarterback and you're in my league. Let me know because I don't need both of these guys. And, I could use somebody to replace Julio Jones because he's decided he's not going to play this year. I don't believe these injury claims. I think he's
hamstring.
I think he's going OBJ 2 years ago.
So here's the deal with Julio, and this is like insider shit. He really is injured, and he just got a new contract. So like he has nothing to bitch about. Matt Ryan is fine throwing him the ball 100 times a game, but he gets hurt, and a lot of these guys get hurt. And I think a lot of this NFL season is exactly what I said to watch out for. When you don't have a preseason, you don't have proper training camps, every fucking guy is hurt. Austin Eckler, gone. McCaffrey, gone. All of these superstar running backs are fucking gone. I'm digging for like third and fourth strings now on some of these teams where I'm like, I'm hammering the waiver wire for Justin Jackson. All day today, I've been trying to get Justin Jackson from the Chargers, for Christ's sakes. I'm not amped. I don't know what to do. Is it affecting gambling? Sort of. You take a team like the Chiefs, right? Dan, you called this, and you have nailed this point home over and over and over again.
It's the Warriors from 2 years ago.
It is
3 years ago.
They're too good, and they only play when they want to play. They play down to the level of competition. The spreads should be 60. Kansas City, if they want to play like they wanted to play against the Ravens, and they dropped 1,000 points on them.
Yep.
They had put 35 up at halftime for Christ's sakes.
I mean, look, it's the same thing you see in college all the time. If you're in a conference where, if you're Clemson, for example, if you're Alabama or a Big 12 school, especially, but if you're Alabama or one of these powerhouses that needs to demonstrate your prowess throughout the year to maintain against good competition in the SEC, then you've got to run the score up,
right?
Because you don't know, like, it's a point system, right? To get first place. It's not votes like the fucking the coaches poll is, but the standard the old BCS model that they're using now to do the CFP, everything counts.
Right.
The score, the differential, point differential, the end of the year counts, all this stuff counts. So if there's a tiebreaker, you do not want to lose on a fucking tiebreaker because you had empathy for a team that sucked.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Got to fucking Urban Meyer this shit, put your foot on the gas and drop 60 every game.
But if you're Clemson, you're in the ACC. It doesn't fucking matter what you do.
Doesn't matter.
So you will see them, like last year we went to that NC State game. It was 35-0 after the first quarter. And they really didn't play much after that.
No.
And they didn't have to. They knew they didn't have to, so we left.
Yeah. We left at halftime.
That's the same kind of situation that the Chiefs are in. You only have to win by one in the NFL, and they know that. And why? Think about it from a Belichick point of view. By the way, the defense played really well last night
for the
Belichick.
Patriots.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just Mahomes taking the night off. Like, of course they took the night off a little bit.
There was some questionable run calls where it was like, hey man, let's just let Mahomes throw the ball 100 times.
For
like,
sure,
we're good.
They should. I mean, look, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire is amazing.
He's amazing. And look, the Chiefs covered, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying.
It was 6-3 at halftime.
I get it. You only have to win by one. At the end of the year, nobody's going to be close to them in that division record-wise anyway, so there's not going to be any kind of home tiebreaker bullshit.
Right.
And there's very little chance that anybody's going to have a better record than them, especially now. They're the first team to 4-0 for the fourth consecutive season.
Yeah. It is.
And I just don't think it
has been easy for them. Look, we picked them to win it all.
Yeah.
Before
there's no impetus.
Started.
There's no impetus for them to give 100%. Like, if you're Belichick used to do this all the time, and they would lose a game to like Miami or something like that. But he would spend that Miami game. This is in Belichick's head. He would spend that Miami game trying out new shit and disguising stuff that he didn't want other people to know about. Why throw my best punch in round one when I've got 8-10 more rounds to go?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I guess it's frustrating to watch because they could literally put up 60 a game if they want to.
And then,
in the fourth quarter last night, they just dropped the hammer and it was like, all right, cool. They put up 20.
It's seriously like you're watching a playground fight between a giant guy and a skinny guy, and the skinny guy is just like running around doing stupid shit, and he's just holding him by his head right there, right? Just holding him by his head, and all of a sudden he makes contact. He's like, "Fuck you," and knocks the little kid out. That's pretty much every game for the Chiefs, unless it's a game like against the Ravens where they want to tear them up.
For Sarah Williams, by the way, I'll go back to the new guy. Yes, you should be stuffing midgets in trash cans. That's what happens. Nerds get bullied. And and that's what the Chiefs should be doing to every single team.
They should. I mean,
smashing them by 60.
So Brady had that one game, right, or that one season. Not that he didn't have a bunch of great years, but he had 2007
with Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was 2007, and finally he was like, you know what? I'm going to go out and throw up the stats that I can throw up this year.
Yeah.
50 touchdowns, set a record. If Mahomes decided, if he had a Jordan year, and when I say Jordan year, I mean every year Jordan ever played. From the first time that Jordan got another fucking all-star on his team, he never lost in the playoffs again. He lost games, but no series ever again.
What do you think that number is? I'm gonna actually pull out my calculator here. It's the only thing that Steve Jobs got right was putting a calculator.
What do I think Mahomes can actually do?
Yes,
I think
one season touchdown.
I think Mahomes could throw 65 or so touchdowns.
I got 64.
Yeah, that's
so weird you said
games.
that.
I said games.
Yes, 4 games.
I think he could throw
65
touchdowns, 64, 65. He would probably throw somewhere between 5 and 10 picks, probably, if you throw the ball that much.
Yeah.
And I think he would probably have somewhere around 6,500 to 7,000 total yards, probably. I think I legitimately, especially with that team, with McCole Hardman and you just name the whole roster. It doesn't matter who the fuck is there.
Right.
All those guys. And they make catches that are incredible, but it's because he put the ball right there.
Yeah.
Like last week, how tall is Tyreek Hill? Like 5'9", 5'10", maybe?
He's stretching 5'10", yeah.
So he throws a ball, and it's against a defensive back that's 6 foot, which is tall for a defensive back. Mm-hmm. And the only person that could have caught that ball was Tyreek Hill. He's not a tall man.
No.
And it landed right in his hands, 40 yards downfield, like in the end zone, landed right in his hands.
It was like a fireman catching a baby from the 12th story.
There's only a couple of people right now in the NFL that can do that. One of them is Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the only 3 people that I would trust to take that throw in the entire NFL right now.
I agree.
And
I agree.
He is 24 goddamn years old.
I know. It's
and
crazy.
Tom Brady didn't decide to take a whole season seriously for himself until he was 30. Like, we have no idea what this kid can do yet.
No, and it's
and they
he's
have a
barely
tight end
scratching the surface. The whole team is disgusting.
They have a tight end that plays like a wide receiver. Did you see Kelsey running down the field last night? I mean, it was like he catches that pass and then fucking jukes a guy, and I'm like, all right. I mean, George Kittle is a great fucking tight end, but he can't do that.
No, well, Kittle had 15 catches this weekend.
Kittle puts up the best numbers for a tight end, but Dak Prescott.
There's so many weapons.
Dak
on the
Prescott
Chiefs,
will very likely put up the best numbers for a quarterback this year, and they are 1-3. So, what matters.
Yep.
And individual statistics in the NFL don't.
What I will say this, because both Dan and I are fans of greatness, and
doesn't matter what team you're on.
Exactly. When you have a team as great as the Chiefs are, I don't give a shit if the Falcons are on at the exact same time. I'm watching the Chiefs game, even though I'm a diehard Falcons fan, because I want to see greatness and dominance. And the Chiefs are that great.
And
I'm like, holy shit.
It also helps that they have some of the best fans in all of sports. Like, Arrowhead is the loudest stadium by far, and for any sport, it's the loudest, decibel-wise. Like, literally, when I say the loudest, it's not anecdotal. Literally, the decibel count is higher there than any other place because of the echo and all the other bullshit.
We had a fun tailgate there. Was it Brad Wolf? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Brad Wolf, yeah.
Yeah, for the AFC Championship game.
It was a blast.
Yeah,
we had a great time in KC.
All their fans are great. If you go to their games or the Kansas City Royals games, it doesn't matter what the fucking temperature is. People are tailgating out there. They're like playing fucking techno music and dancing and drinking Coors Light. I'm like, this is a weird combination of shit right here. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Hey, man, let's get weird.
I'm all for getting weird. They're also polite. You don't hear about fights breaking out unless Raiders fans show up. Then there's probably going to be a couple fights.
Yeah, well, it's Raiders fans.
Let's be honest. But they have, like, their fans aren't annoying. They're not like Philly fans who are throwing batteries on the field. They're not like Cowboys fans who are completely delusional about the state of their team.
Boy, I've never seen anything like it. And and then they want to revert back to. I got into it with a friend of ours. He's like, "Oh, we have 5 championships." I was like, "What century was that?" Because it wasn't this one. You haven't even been to a Super Bowl in 25 years at this point.
Technically, it wasn't in this millennia either.
No,
if you want to be a dick about it.
So it's crazy to me. And the Cowboys fans, it's going to get worse for you. There's no hope with that defense. And I'm going to have a hard time betting on them the rest of the year. I'll flip over to the Bears because that was my other incorrect call of the weekend. I believed in Big Dick Nick. I got caught up in the hype. I always get caught up in the hype with a gentleman with a large penis. Talked about Tyga earlier on Ross Patterson Revolution. Talking about Big Dick Nick right now. I believed he was the savior. I watched that game where he threw 3 touchdowns in the second half against the Falcons. I believed in it. and the Colts won. The Colts housed them. So the Bears, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do up there, but that team is shitty. Look, the NFC East is the Big 12 of professional football.
A little bit, yeah. I think
there's no defense, and it's just fucking shitty.
The
football.
Colts came in with a very, very good game plan defensively. They knew that there was no run threat at all.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
None at all. And that's Foles threw the ball, like 40, 45 times, something like that. And his completion percentage was like 50%.
Terrible.
Or like 60, maybe 60%, which is not terrible, but it's not great. I mean, you can't win games with 60%. There's no way. I think they – like did you watch any of the game at all? I only watched highlights afterwards.
I did. I watched a little bit of the game, and it was so bad that I turned it off.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those like – 10-3 for most of the game,
yeah.
and then 17-3, and you're like,
it was 13-3 at halftime.
It was awful,
and they only scored a combined 14 points in the second half.
Yeah, dude, it was a miserable game all the way around.
Nobody wants to see that, by the way. Like I understand that defense wins championships, but it doesn't win viewers, and this is a sport that is part of an entertainment industry. So
correct. Not be watching the Bears anymore this season.
Like nobody wanted to watch those fucking Detroit Pistons teams win NBA championships in the early 2000s. It was boring. Nobody
boring.
Spurs. Nobody
boring.
wanted to watch the Spurs. Nobody wanted to watch any of that bullshit.
Terrible. And then we'll flip on over to college here. Now college, lock of the week came through. Georgia's defense is nasty.
Very good.
Hopefully that transfer quarterback sticks. He looked pretty decent. He missed some deep balls. They really could have blown the doors off Auburn. 27-6 was still a fucking woodshed beating, but it is simply because Georgia's defense is nasty. The SEC is nasty. But I call them like I see them, Dan, and Bama is back. They looked real crisp on Saturday, and they kicked the shit out of Mississippi State. Before the season started, I had Ohio State playing Bama for the national championship, and I stand by that. It is a scary team that Bama has right now, and
it is. This is going to be the best CFP. Whatever the fourth team that gets in, it's certainly not going to be Texas now, which I thought earlier. This is the second year in a row where they've.
It's not going to be a Big 12 school.
It's definitely not going to be Big 12. That whole conference.
It could be BYU.
I think the Big 12 schools have now become, since Pac-12 sat out the season.
Yeah.
Big 12 is just like, I guess we got to suck this year.
Pac-12 is coming back in November.
No one cares.
No one cares. And I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that, but I don't think they're going to get in. The Big 12 is over. What year did they stop recruiting defensive players there? Like, did they all get together as a conference and say, hey, we're not doing that anymore?
I don't know when it happened, but it certainly happened because you can fucking tell.
God damn it. I was at the Texas game. They looked terrible. For the entire game, they looked terrible. The Oklahoma Sooners. What happened, bro? They're 1-2. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. If you want to go back to that LSU game,
not good.
Not good at all. And they look like shit.
It's going to be,
somebody said on the Drinkin Bros message board, I apologize for cutting you off. Somebody said on the Drinkin Bros message board, because I wanted to remember this, he said, and I don't know if there's any truth to this, everybody was on Lincoln Riley's dick, and now all of these recruits that Bob Stoops had are out now, and these are all Lincoln Riley's guys, and that's why they're shitty. I don't know if there's any truth to that, because I'm not a big Oklahoma football guy, because let's face it, they haven't won anything in a very long time. And after being at that CFP game last year, that was pretty much it for me as far as believing in Oklahoma. Oklahoma to me is more or less like Notre Dame, where I'm just like, I'm not.
I think Oklahoma
might. Fans
I think
anymore.
they might be more like Louisville. Like they're only going to be even good if they have a great starting quarterback, like Lamar Jackson at Louisville,
right?
And the little kid from Oklahoma.
I don't know what the Spencer Rattler kid is going to do, because we're spoiled now in college, where we're seeing all these superstars be great in their sophomore year, where you have, Lawrence, Fields, even Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked great. Yeah. From Alabama. And it's like, you want to see these guys put up big numbers immediately, and you can. Look, Spencer Rattler sat out his first year, so he should have had time behind it was Kyler Murray for
to at least learn the goddamn offense.
Yes, he was behind Kyler Murray, the Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah. So I don't know what Oklahoma's deal is, but the Big 12 as a whole is not playing defense.
No,
and if you're betting on them, last year we called the Pac-12 the Trap 12 because none of those spreads were covering. This year it is the Big 12, and I would not bet on any Big 12 games because you're just throwing your money out the window. I just would not do it.
I wouldn't either. And if you look at the way things have played out over the first couple of weeks here, you got to believe is the SEC playing a championship game this year?
Yes.
So you got to believe that it's probably even with that.
So is the Big Ten, by the way, and the Pac-12, and all of them are actually the
Yeah.
four out of the 5 are.
So here's what you're going to see from those conference championships. You're going to see either Florida or Georgia play Alabama. Probably Georgia with that defense. I mean, I think Florida is kind of teetering on the edge of being good, but I don't know if they're.
It's close. Like
I don't know if they're
look,
legit
that
yet.
Florida-Georgia race. Man, I almost threw out a Florida-Georgia line joke in there, but I held back. I refrained. That Florida-Georgia matchup. That's probably gonna come down to who wins that division on that side. Yeah. And I don't know. Georgia's defense is nasty. Florida's got a pretty good offense.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure what you're going to see.
It's a fun game.
You're probably going to see Clemson come in at number 1 because nobody's going to be able to beat them. But they'll still have
Bama jump them this week.
I'm not seeing that.
Alabama
is right now. It's Clemson then Alabama, and Alabama's like.
Which poll do you have, by the way?
The AP poll.
Okay, so in the coaches, Bama jumped them.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, the one that I have has Bama at 1. So. I apologize.
No,
but,
it's on the coaches poll. It's 46 first place votes for Clemson and 14 for Alabama.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's why I think that. By the way, it's not. It has nothing to do with
I don't
the
know
respective.
what poll that I have then.
Well,
it's got Bama at 1 here.
Get that poll out, and we'll take a look at it.
Yeah. I'll whip that poll out.
We're talking about wieners here, guys.
Yeah, you want to whip that poll out? I'll whip that fucking poll out.
The reason that I think Clemson will remain number 1 this whole season is because even though the SEC is going to beat up on each other and Alabama is going to dominate a league that's beating up on each other, which is way more impressive than what Clemson's going to be doing, by the way. But Clemson will have like 2 ranked teams on their schedule, which is all you need.
Miami and Notre Dame.
And they'll probably play. I don't know how they didn't split up into divisions over there, so it's going to take the first 2 teams. Is the ACC playing a fucking?
They are.
So they're not split into divisions. So it's just going to be the 2 best teams. It's probably going to be. I mean, frankly, at the end of the season, it will probably be Notre Dame and Clemson that plays that game.
Oh yeah, they're going to play twice this year for sure. I think.
So they're gonna have 2. They're gonna have 3, like top 10. Victories probably because they're playing Miami, right?
Yeah,
they'll beat Miami. They'll beat Notre Dame.
They're playing Miami this weekend, so we're going to get to that game.
So that's 3 top 10 victories for Clemson. Even though the rest of the ACC sucks, it won't matter. So Clemson will be the number 1 seed, right? Ohio State's got the next challenging schedule, in my opinion.
Yep.
And then Alabama's got the 3rd. They'll all be in. And then whomever wins from Florida and Georgia is probably going to be in now, right?
But if you're going off of schedule and conference.
Unless Notre Dame beats Clemson one of those games. It doesn't matter which one. If they win either one of those games, they're probably going to get in.
But if you're going off
which is going to piss me off.
Strength of conference, and then you're determining your top 4 with that, if all of them remain undefeated, right?
Yep.
I would slot in Alabama at 1, Ohio State at 2, Clemson at 3, and I don't know who your 4th seed is yet. And again, it could be a BYU or somebody fucking weird this year. You never know, or more than likely a second SEC team,
maybe.
But
that's not how the point system works for the CFP though, because Ohio State
this year.
Ohio State, because of their shortened season, they're only going to play 2 ranked teams. Maybe if Michigan stays ranked, we don't know about that yet. Yep. But Penn State will definitely stay ranked somewhere. They may not stay top 10, but they'll be ranked. And then they'll play whomever in their conference championship will be one of those 2 ranked teams, right? So we'll see who they play, but they're going to have less, like that wins against top 10 teams give you more points than anything else in the CFP statistics. Right?
And it's interesting you say that because I got a text last night. I'm on this this Insider Ohio State thread, and I got a text last night that Wisconsin's quarterback, that Cone kid, is going to be out for the year. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but the text that I got said he had some foot issue, and he will definitely not make the opening games.
I mean, their quarterbacks never really do much there anyway.
He is great, and he is leading that team, and he was a sleeper pick. Wisconsin has been a sleeper pick all year for the top 4. And I hear you. The only problem is with a shortened season and you have to play Ohio State, I would still slot in a second SEC team in over a second Big Ten team.
Yeah, of course. I think it's got to be Florida or Georgia. I mean, look, we don't know how the season is going to play out, but based on what we've seen so far,
it's getting fun.
Florida's a good team.
Yep.
There's an outside chance somebody like Penn State could sneak in if they continue to win, and one of these 2 teams or both of those 2 teams stumble somehow, right? There's definitely a chance of that. Like if it comes down to the end of the season and Florida and Georgia both have a loss, then whomever's got to play in the conference championship, they're definitely going to lose to Alabama. So that's going to be 2 losses. Are they going to get in over a 1-loss Penn State team that maybe played competitively against Ohio State? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how the rest of that season goes. Brooke is in the comments talking about, oh, you've already called the season for Ohio State. They haven't even started yet. LSU lost their first game of the season, right?
Yeah, they're terrible.
All right, we're done with that one.
They're terrible, Brooke.
Move on.
I love you, but
Move
they're
on, Brooke.
terrible. But no, look, I didn't call Ohio State last year or the year before, to be honest with you. I bet against the Falcons on Monday night. I will bet against my own teams because money is the only team that matters, and I am here for you guys, not for myself. Now, selfishly, yes, I wish the Falcons would win the Super Bowl every year. It's not going to happen. We need to fire a coach and figure out a new team. Tank for Trevor. Let's do it. He's a Georgia boy. Let's have him be the starting quarterback for the Falcons. Matt Ryan is clearly not that guy. Let's move on with our fucking lives. And everybody in Drinkin Bros Sports is like, I can't believe you bet against your team. That must be grueling. No, it's not. We're 0-3. I knew we were going to be 0-4. I don't care. If you don't win the Super Bowl, it's a fucking lost season, in my opinion. I don't give a shit. Same with Ohio State. If you do not win a national championship, I don't fucking care. Like, I will never remember what number we finished last year in college football rankings.
That's
I have
funny,
no idea because we didn't win the national championship, so therefore I don't give a shit. But LSU fans, look, you had the greatest single season ever. This is a shortened season this year. Nobody will ever touch that. You will always have that season to hold on to, and that's it. But the other thing we're going to get to here is before we get to the sponsors and then the spreads, because let's face it, all you guys are here for the spreads. NBA playoffs. It's the finals. I did not know they were going on.
Is it?
Yep. Completely checked out of them politically. I've checked out of the NBA playoffs because of politics, and I don't know. The ratings for Game 2 was the lowest rated finals game in NBA history. Game 3, which the Miami Heat actually won, topped that. It was even worse than Game 2. So
I really want to know what their thoughts are on this. I really wish someone would address this from the perspective of the NBA and kind of articulate why they think their ratings are down so much. Like, I really want to hear what it is.
I would too, by the way.
Just I mean, they're definitely having these conversations. The question is, has anybody in their marketing team, the NBA's marketing team, had the balls to say, hey, maybe we should all just shut the fuck up? Like that, by the way,
No.
I don't know for sure that that's the answer. I have no idea what it is. And
I think we know exactly
the thing
what
that's
it is.
changed the most from this year to last year, that's what I would be looking at. But is it a bigger change that COVID's going on and all the stuff is weird with the production, or is it a bigger change that you can't just enjoy the sport without all the ancillary nonsense, right? Like, which one is the biggest needle mover?
So for me, because I gave this serious thought on the drive over here today, right? The reason why it feels like fall and I feel like I'm starting to care less and less about COVID is because college football is back and NFL is back. I am not seeing it all over the NFL. I'm not seeing any of it in college football. And I've been to 2 stadiums now where I've sat in the stands and enjoyed my life. And I'm not seeing anything political in the college football world. Very rarely in the NFL, like last night when Homeboy sacked Matt Ryan and then pulled down his shirt and it said Breonna Taylor rest in heaven or whatever it is. Good for you and all that shit, but the reason why I've enjoyed football more than all the other sports and the NHL and UFC is because I'm not thinking about anything politically. All day long,
Right.
Politics are jammed in our face from every angle, and the NBA to me has gone overboard, shoving the shit down my fucking throat every single second of the game that I just can't enjoy it, and I've checked out of it, and I know you have too.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing if it was like a thoughtful response with some kind of solution attached to the end of it, but you could tell just from talking to the people who absorb that kind of content exactly what they're getting out of it. For example, I was getting my haircut today, and the woman, I believe she's 26, somewhere in that age group, was telling me like, oh yeah, I absolutely support defunding the police. I don't think people really know what it is. I'm like, well, I know exactly what it is. So if you want to chat about that, we can do that now while you're cutting my hair. So we talked about it for a little while. Obviously the things that she believes are asinine and not rooted in reality at all. It's just talking points from like, yeah, we need to spend more money on the community and stuff. Like, yeah, that's not, you don't have to take money away from the police to do that. Like, why would you make a less professional police force to respond to these things once they get outside of the control of these other things? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, let's spend more money where money needs to be spent, but don't take money away from cops. That's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Stupid. And that ESPN announcer on Saturday who said he was rejecting his police escorts to the game. He said, I guess they usually give him a cop. And he was like, I don't need it. I'm worried about getting killed. Are you? Are you really worried about getting killed at your 6-figure job and you're one of the most famous announcers?
Here's
you
the
fucking idiots.
Here's the other thing this woman said to me. By the way, I got to find a new place to get my haircut now. The other thing she said to me goes, isn't it true that 50% of cops are domestic abusers? I'm like, what? That's an interesting thing to say. So for those of you that don't know, there's something called the Lottenberg Amendment, right? And it's an amendment that requires that anybody that carries any kind of weapon on duty, police officer, security guard, soldier even, if they're if they're charged with domestic violence until that case is settled, they cannot not carry their weapon on duty anymore. And if they get convicted, they can't carry their weapon on duty ever again, unless some things go through the courts, right?
Right.
So no, the people who carry guns every single day, the 750,000 people, 375,000 people in the United States aren't domestic abusers carrying guns right now. You fucking idiot.
Crazy.
Jesus goddamn Christ. Just the level of abject ignorance it takes to believe something like that is unbelievable in 2020 when we have access to information. Like, we've got access to a lot of bad information as well, and it gets shoveled down your throat all the time. But if you're dumb enough to believe what people are telling you like that, then you kind of deserve the outcome, frankly.
Yeah, I go back and forth whether or not people are dumb enough or they're just believing what they want to believe and don't care about reality anymore. And I don't know the answer to that either. But I know the answer to the NBA Finals. I will cover it after it's over. And, look, man, I said it when Kobe died that LeBron needs to win this title. And because Kobe would have done the exact same fucking thing if Jordan would have died.
Yeah.
He better is all I say, but I'm not going to watch it. I just can't. I can't sit there and watch that bullshit all fucking day. Now, Major League Baseball, I can watch. Playoffs are here.
Yep, the Braves are playing literally right now.
Right now, and they're losing right now.
It's 4-3.
Yeah, well, we're not winning. If they choke too, I'm going to really start to think about...
Choking yourself, maybe?
No, just picking a new city to be from and root for, because this is a great Braves team, and they could win a World Series this year. If they don't, my God, another year of this, man. Just this.
They've got some issues with the with pitching injuries in the pitching staff, but they're actually doing pretty well. I mean, Max Fried got dinged up a little bit today, but overall, their bullpen has been great.
It has been, but look, Marlins putting up 4 runs early hurts because it's the fucking Marlins. I can't name one single player on their team, but these matchups are great. Yankees and Tampa Bay was my favorite. It was a great game last night. Homeboy hit that grand slam in the ninth. Houston, Oakland is great. The Padres against the Dodgers, great series.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to these Major League Baseball playoffs. Dan and I traditionally bet the NLCS and then the ALCS and then the World Series. We don't gamble on these little games, or else I would give you spreads. Fake Dan, do you bet on baseball?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. What's do you go game by game with this shit? By the way, mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit. That's what we always bet on, obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
So who are you fucking taking in these games here? In these series? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go to the series for you.
Dodgers.
So you got the Dodgers.
Yep.
I think that's safe. Although I love watching Tatis Jr. play. That's the sexiest player in the league.
No,
right
I like
now.
the Padres as a team. They're swaggier. But
Yeah.
I say the Dodgers are going to win the World Series because Kershaw doesn't have a crowd.
That's not a bad point, to be honest.
So it's like not a
great too.
It's not a real playoff.
Yeah, that's right. And he's looked great too. God, what did he throw? He gave it 3 hits and 8 runs or 8 innings.
Strikeouts, yeah.
God damn, he was amazing the other night. I'm with that. I can get with that. So are you then saying Dodgers versus Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great series, man. That would be a fun series.
I honestly think that the Marlins are going to win this series against the Braves.
No way.
I think they're kind of like the Heat right now. They're just on some fucking thing. There's something going on there, and you can't. It's like the
youth.
It's like the
youth.
It's part of it for sure. It's like
Yeah.
the Royals in 2016.
Yeah.
Like They did not have a good enough team to win the World Series. Let's be absolutely fucking honest about that.
It was one of the worst World Series winners we've had in a long time.
But whatever the fuck it was, they had it, and it looks like the Marlins might. If they win this first game against the Braves in this fashion, and particularly win it by 1 run after getting up early and maintaining that lead over the course of 7 innings, I think they've got the fucking juice to make it at least to the NLCS.
I thought the Braves were up 1-0. Is that not true?
I don't think so. I think this is game 1, right?
It is game 1. Yeah. Shit. All right. Houston, Oakland, another fun series. 2 teams that fucking hate each other. Mm-hmm. Who do you have fake, Dan?
Astros.
Yeah. Look, the Astros won game 1.
Yeah.
I understand it. Look, the Astros are a better team on paper.
Revenge tour.
Yeah, and they do
revenge
have that
for
hatred.
What? What are they getting revenge for? For not getting
For cheating.
For cheating.
Yeah.
And so, but
they're the ones that cheated.
Right. But the hatred has been so strong for them. We said this early on in the preseason baseball show. Do they all band together and say, "Fuck the world"? Everyone hates us, and let's go out and win a title.
Do you know how
fold?
bad? Do you know how bad it would be for Major League Baseball if Houston won the World
Exactly
Series?
what I was thinking.
You need a villain. What's wrong with the villain?
If they win the World
You
Series,
can't let the
though,
heel win, though.
You can't.
Like, faces and heels are a real thing, and they matter in sports. McMahon is the best at it.
Randy Savage only won 1 title, my man. You know, they got it. They had to give it to Hogan.
Yeah, like you let the villain play. Like, what movie do you really like where the villain wins in the end?
Doc Holliday. That's about it.
He's not a villain.
He's on the board. He murdered a lot of people in real life.
Yeah, but back then that was kind of just like breathing. There was no villain. He was deputized. It was legal back then.
Yeah.
Look, I think Houston probably wins the series. They're in control now. They've already won game 1, and I don't think Oakland's got the chops to do it, particularly
no.
in that lineup. Usually they rely on Chris Davis to crank out like 40, 50 home runs a year, and he's not been on this year.
No.
And I just don't see it. They usually fold. Look, this is the first time they've won a playoff series in like 19 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
That 3-game bullshit that they just won. I mean, they won 2 games, and that was the series. So, look, there's a very little chance that the A's can win the series. And I think probably looking at an Astros-Yankees ALCS.
So, okay, that was my next question. Fake Dan, who do you have? Yankees, Tampa Bay. It's 1-0, and that was a close game last night. That was tight. That could have gone either way, to be honest with you.
Go Rays today.
I go Rays today as well.
Yeah.
I go Yankees. Is this 5 or 7?
5.
5, yeah. So this is gonna go 5, and I'll take the Yankees because of Chapman. Chapman's look pretty good, but yeah, I'm gonna go Yankees. You got real Dan. You got Yankees.
Man, I got to tell you, this is a really
It's a hard one, man.
Tampa Bay is another one of those teams that there's nothing sexy about it.
Nope. And you don't want to see them advance because nobody's going to watch the games.
No, that's a problem too. But this Glasnow kid usually throws pretty well in these kind of games. I think they're going to win today, for sure.
Okay.
But I don't think they have a good enough pitching staff to keep that Yankees team down to win 3 games, honestly.
Well, look, and so far, they're all still healthy as of today.
Yeah,
now, give this an hour, and they will all fall down a flight of stairs and be on the IR.
They do seem to have bad luck, yeah.
Today, they're healthy, and I'm going to take the Yankees as well. But these games are on all night. There is, God damn it, there's nothing better than playoff baseball. So I'm all in tonight. Like, this is great. Chilly, little cool weather, and some playoff baseball. I'm in. Before we get to the college football and NFL spreads, we got some sponsors. Pay for this shit wagon to be on the air. First and foremost, KillcliffCBD.com. 25 milligrams of CBD in every single can. Dude, I'm out yesterday and I saw two empty strawberry cans. How did strangers get it before I do?
Where'd you see him?
On the streets.
Oh, that was probably us.
You dirtbags are just throwing shit out the window?
I drive around the
Drinking
city
and driving,
at night
throwing
and throw
CBD
cans out the window because I feel like those people who collect cans to turn them in.
Yeah.
Like if I can either give them to the recycling place and it's just like a big conglomerate company.
Sure.
Or I could throw them out on the street and some hobo will pick them up and cash them in for rent money or whatever they do. I don't know what they do with them.
I don't either. But we're big fans. 25 milligrams of CBD in every single can. You will not piss hot on a drug test. It's great for back and joint pains. I drink a can of it every night when I write, right before bed. It's the fucking best, man. The Killcliff CBD and vodka was the drink of the summer this year, man. And I got to be honest, I don't know if somebody's going to challenge that for next year, to be real about it. 4 amazing flavors: grape, man, I'm tough. Like the grape is still my favorite. It's still my favorite. Mango I go 2, orange 3, and then I haven't had the strawberry, so I don't know. I reserve because
It's
I love
good.
strawberry.
I'll bring you. Remind me, and I'll bring you one.
I'll just buy some. I use my own promo code.
Well,
They
you can
know
do
it's
that
me,
too.
though.
But if I just know this, that if I do bring you one, I'm gonna like pour it out in a little tiny shot glass and drink the rest myself.
Yeah, of
like
course.
you can have a taste, but you're not getting a whole one.
Obviously, I'm not getting a whole one.
Don't be fucking ridiculous.
I'm not good enough for that. Go to killcliffcbd.com today. Promo code Drinkin Bros gets you 20% off and free shipping, which is rad, dude. Gigantic fan of those guys. I fucking
they're the
order
best.
way too much. Next up, we've got mybookie.com. This is where we've been betting all of these games with all year round. Their new interface has been great too, man. A little too easy for Daddy to make these parlay picks, but we post the bets from mybookie.com and Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook every single week. And, man, we've been betting a lot. Jesus. Junky shit. But we love it. We love it. It's that juice, baby. You gotta get that juice. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit at mybookie.com. All of the odds we will read off for the NFL and college football. I will go ESPN. So that way Dan can go MyBookie. So that way you can see who's actually betting on these games in real time. Go to mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros, doubles your deposit. Next up is ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. 30% off if you're a member of the military or first responder, a teacher, or work in the government. The rest of us, fucking idiots. We only get 25% off. And the mattress and 2 free pillow deal is gone. However, it is October, and you're getting a 30% off of bundle package. That's everything: pillows, sheets, adjustable bases, covers. If it's ass eating season, you need some covers on that mattress, dude.
Yeah, or if you're Jared Taylor and there's cats randomly show up into your room and vomit on the bed as you're having sex.
Yeah.
That's a real thing that happened, by the way.
It is. Cat puke.
Yeah, Jared Cat Puke Taylor. That's a real thing that happened.
He's going sober now for 6 months. Did you hear
He
that?
says that, but he always does. He and Street Bike Tommy were in a fucking contest to lose weight.
Why?
2 years ago, and first of all, Tommy gained weight during the thing.
yeah.
And Jared forgot that they were even in the contest,
Yeah.
so I'm not really worried about any of this being real.
He's been hiking all day on Instagram with weights on and shit. This isn't. Every time he gets a new girlfriend, this is what happens. He thinks he has to lose weight.
He does lose weight really fast. By the way,
He does, for sure.
If you've already got a bed, by the way, and you want the best sheets and pillow, like the best cooling sheets, the best pillows that
I
exist,
love those sheets. Yeah.
The pillows from Ghost Bed are the best pillow. I won't buy anything else unless it's like a decorative pillow. I'll buy those. But if it's like a normal pillow that I'm going to put my actual giant head on, it will only be Ghost Bed pillows. They're the
Agreed.
best.
And the sheets are great because they got the elastic band that goes around the thing, so you're not tugging on it. And
Yeah, it's irritating when you're fucking. Oh my god, man! When your flat sheet's one thing, but when your fitted sheet pulls off the edge of the bed because you've been jumping around on it, or whatever the fuck people do.
Yeah. Threesomes, foursomes,
I get
fivesomes.
so goddamn mad. That's one of the things that makes me. It's problems with my phone not working properly when I want it to.
Right.
And then shit with my bed not working properly.
This thing's
I
a
get
piece
so
of
mad.
shit. This $1,500 piece of shit. We got some breaking news here. Eddie Van Halen just died. It's
fuck.
65 years old.
You're fucking kidding.
No.
Yeah. R.I.P. Eddie Van Halen.
Man, that's weird.
That's not great.
No. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today, where hopefully maybe Eddie died in a bed. Look, he had his own fucking problems though for years and years and years.
Well, he had cancer too.
Yeah, ate a lot of drugs on Eddie. I don't know what he died from. Can you look that up?
Cancer.
Fake Dan?
Throat cancer.
Throat cancer. Not a huge shock.
No.
He was smoking like 9 packs a day. But one of the very best to do it. I'm going to fucking jam out some Van Halen on the way home. You know what's weird is I just listened to them like 2 or 3 days ago. I put on some of their best of shit. They're the weirdest band where fucking Hagar and David Lee Roth were both equally great.
Yeah.
And 2 fucking different hits in,
Yeah, it
in the
was
same
weird.
band.
It was weird. Yeah. So every now and again I'll play Eruption. You know, the song with the long intro, and I try to pound off in rhythm with every note played. And I've been hospitalized twice out of the 5 times I've done it, but the other 3 times are great. So that's like 60% of the time it works every time. That's Sex Panther, right?
It is.
So
Trey Wetzel and Phil Cease were the ones who were. My phone was just melting down over the Van Halen thing. Man, yeah, we're live on air, so I didn't know, but that sucks. Shit. God damn it, man. You know how much sex and cocaine was done to that band?
would you rather have 65 Van Halen years or, I don't know, 75 Joe Biden years?
65 Van Halen years.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
Easily. Jesus Christ.
I mean, those are quality years. Like, would you rather have a whole pile of steak or like a couple of really good ones? You know what I mean?
Some great ones.
I'll take the great ones.
Same, man.
You can only eat so much. You can only live so much. I feel like if you've lived a life that incredible, at some point in your 60s or 70s, you're like, man, I need a fucking break.
Yeah, one of the greatest guitarists of all time, by the way.
Yeah,
by far. Like, it's not
he's
even
amazing.
close. Sports show, don't care. Every fucking song that every team has come out to for 40 years has been Van Halen hits. So, yeah. Last but not least, try firstleaf.com /Drinkin Bros.
I did try it.
That is the wine club. That is the best, dude. 6 bottles for $29.95 at tryfirstleaf.com /Drinkin Bros. I don't even give a shit if you just want to get hammered, dude. 6 bottles for $30 is incredible. Some of the finest wine from all over the world, and that is the very best deal you will ever get in this fucking life, dude. Go to tryfirstleaf.com /Drinkin Bros. 6 bottles for $30. Get the fuck out of here. That's amazing. I know you're a huge wine connoisseur, and you've been on that train for months, dude. I'm just new to it, and holy shit, it's great. It's almost too good to be true, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, look, if you go to a grocery store, right, and you're like, I want to get a bottle.
The cheapest bottle of good wine you can get is like fucking $10.99, $9.99.
Yeah, right. So you go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, I'm going to have this tonight. You can either spend. So I would recommend looking up wine pairings for the food they're going to make. But even if you get a good wine pairing, you're looking at like 60 of the exact same thing that you're looking for, and you don't know which one's good or not.
No,
you don't know which one grew in which region and what that means and all that other bullshit, because nobody has time to be an expert on this stuff. But you can fucking join a wine club that is an expert on it. You can give them very vague notes at first, and then drink their first batch of wine that's going to cost you $30. Stay on the wine club, and it gets exponentially closer to your exact taste over time. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
So now when you're fucking eating that steak and you want to have like a Tempranillo, like a spicy Spanish wine with it, you've got it in your fucking cabinet. You don't need to go look somewhere else.
You're ready to rock, dude. You're ready to rock.
It's a big deal for me. Convenience is the most important thing in my life.
Big deal. Now let's get to the spreads. This is what you came for. It's what you come every week for. It's what everybody's been winning money off of. And so far, knock on wood, we've been off to a great start, minus my Cowboys and fucking Bears pick last weekend. Everything else has been great, including all 6 games last night. 6 different fucking ways to win that. Happy birthday to Trevor Lawrence, who turned 21 today as well. Now all he's going to remember is that Eddie Van Halen died on his fucking, on his birthday. I'm kidding. I don't know if he even knows who Van Halen is. Let's get to the spreads, shall we? First game up, great game. It is the nooner game. It is number 4, Florida against Texas A&M. This is minus 6.5 for Florida. D'Anthony, who do you got?
This is a good question. I mean, technically, it's at
A&M got housed by Alabama last week.
They did, but I mean, look, they lost by 28 points, I think.
Yeah. Could have been worse, to be honest with you. I think I might have said Mississippi State, but it was A&M that Bama beat.
And they only put up like 20 against Vanderbilt, 17, 18, 20, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I don't think against Florida they're going to do very well.
I don't either, and it's 6.5, man.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to get bounced out of the top 25 this week after they lose by at least a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that at 6.5.
Look, Florida was a sleeper team this year for us on the show, and
we just didn't know what Trask was going to do.
They've lived up to it, man. So
he's looking pretty good.
So far, so good here. I don't see a reason why you couldn't take Florida at a touchdown.
No, I'm good with that.
To be honest with you. Because home field advantage doesn't mean dick this year.
No, it doesn't. And Trask looks good enough. I mean, everybody's still getting tuned up. Now, you can make the case, well, I mean, fucking Texas A&M's just getting started. They need time to tune up. So does everybody else. So you have to apply that same logic to both teams. So the prevailing logic would be that Florida would be better this week than they were last week as well, right?
Yep.
They'd be more in tune. The fucking people know the offense better. Everybody's game plans are getting settled in. They're adjusting and blah, blah, blah. Now, this next game scares me because I don't know what the fuck North Carolina's doing, ranked number 8 in the country in football.
Crazy, right?
It's very bizarre to me. Like, I know they're
Matt Brown has turned that team around.
They're a top
right?
25 team. I really believe they are. Right
I do
now.
too.
I don't think they're a top 10 team.
I think it's simply because the Big Ten and Pac-12 is not in there yet. So,
no. Well, they're in the rankings, but they haven't played any games yet.
Are they in these rankings though? Is what I wonder.
Are.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But things will start once games actually start to get played, once Ohio State comes out and plays a game and people are like, well, it's not just theoretical anymore. They're going to win by 50 points.
Every game, yeah.
So it's, we'll see.
I have a bet with a Nebraska fan that because I think that spread is going to come out at I said, look, if it's under 28, Ohio State versus Nebraska, because that's the opening game.
Yeah.
By the way, Fox has put that on at noon. Just give me if Trump comes out and says, look, man, I brought back Big Ten football, which he did, and then says I'm also want to eliminate noon games, that would be he would win in a landslide. I don't want to see any fucking noon games. But if that spread is under 28, I'm dropping all of the money on Ohio State.
Yeah,
in that opening game here on October 24th.
I'm not going to bet on this one though. Virginia
I'm not
Tech,
either.
I mean, look, there's no it's -5.5 North Carolina. And I'm not even sure how good Virginia Tech is. So if it's that close of a spread, and I don't know how good that team is, there's no fucking way. I mean, to me, this is a pick'em game, to be honest.
Same, and I think the spread almost reflects that, where it's just like you're getting into that territory of that 3 number, where it's just like, hey man, we don't
it would be
really
2.5.
know what's going to happen. Yeah,
like a 3. If you're a road team, you're usually going to get 3 points.
Right.
Typically speaking, if all things being equal, and if it's only a 2.5 spread after that, and betting really only would have started today, we'll maybe take a look at it through the week. If it goes one way or the other, maybe you can give it a look if you're a homer for one of these two teams, but I wouldn't bet this game.
This next one, man, is a true pick'em game, in my opinion. It is Texas, who's somehow still ranked at 22, against Oklahoma, who is 1-2. The spread is Oklahoma -2. I don't know how they arrived at that, but to me, this is a true pick'em game, and this is to salvage a season. This isn't even to play for a CFP spot, nothing like this. Is just to salvage a season and a reputation, because let's face it, if Lincoln Riley starts off 1-3 at Oklahoma, people are going to be livid. Texas, if they lose to Oklahoma, Tom Herman will probably be fired at the end of this year.
They still have to play Baylor, OK State, and Iowa State this year.
Yes, dude, they're going to lose.
Which are all good teams. They could lose 4 games this year.
Yeah.
At this point. Not good.
So the only way I would bet on this game is if you were a diehard Texas fan or a diehard Oklahoma fan. Otherwise, us sitting up here telling you who to pick in this game, we might as well just flip coins in the air.
Yeah.
Because there is no fucking way anyone can tell you who's going to win this game. There is no defense. The over-under is 72 points in this game. That is the highest we've seen all year.
And I'm not going to – I like Big 12 overs a lot. Not this time.
I don't either.
Because if you take the average score for both of these teams against their other opponents, you're talking about 31 to 35 points a game. That's not even 70.
No.
You know what I mean? They're expecting nobody to play defense here. They're expecting everybody to have to throw the ball all the time. And that's a –
I will change my mind. I'm going to bet the under on this. You've talked me into it. I will bet the under on this.
I think the under is a good bet.
Yes, because that's a 31-31 game. And, like, look, man, I was at that game on Saturday, the Texas game.
Yeah.
I was physically there to watch that shit heap. And
well, 72 is a 36-36 game. And what you would expect from these two
I'm
teams.
sorry.
Well, but what you're right, though. What you would expect from this
math.
team is a 31-31 game or 33-31 or something like that. That's what you would expect from this game based on what they've done so far this year.
Even a 35-32 game still
it's not
at
enough.
67.
It's got to be 38-36 or 37-36.
I'm going to hammer the under as soon as this is over with.
I'm taking the under as well.
Next up, Coastal Carolina against Louisiana. There is no spread on this because these teams don't exist. I don't even know. I know they have Louisiana ranked right now. I'm not really sure why. They beat somebody who was ranked to start off the season. Everybody's like, oh, great. This will be a fun story for the year. But there is no spread. Most of their games are D2 schools. So it's like, what are we doing here? Next up, we get Tennessee at Georgia.
This is the game of the week right here.
Game of the week. Fun game. But Georgia, man, after watching that game against Auburn, I don't know what shot Tennessee has in this. And look, we've said it for years now at this point. It would be great for college football if Tennessee is back. They're just not. They're just not back yet, man. And I think Georgia probably wins this by 2 scores.
I struggle with this one because I haven't seen Georgia's offense show out the same way their defense has.
Well, they just got their quarterback this last week, right? So that's going to be their guy for the year. They just played Auburn and worked them. To me, Tennessee is just as good as Auburn, which is not that great. So I will probably bet this game. Check in at Drinkin Bros Sports on Saturday. I will probably throw this in a teaser too.
It's up to 12.5, so people are betting Georgia.
People are betting Georgia. Everybody's betting Georgia.
But look,
I'm betting Georgia.
Tennessee's got a 20-year history of sucking, though.
I know.
And that plays it. Look, there's the recency bias in gambling is a huge mistake. The hot hand theory, all that stuff is usually a huge mistake.
Right.
In most sports. In baseball, it plays out well. And for hockey goalies, it usually plays out well. But for anybody else, you never know when a shooter's going to go cold. Mm-hmm. You never know when a fucking receiver's going to get injured. You never know what the fuck's going to happen. Hot teams usually play well, but there's always an end to it. And predicting when that end's going to happen is
tough.
Important. I think Tennessee's had a hot hand against some subpar SEC teams, and now they're going to get their fucking little booty spanked.
Georgia has fans in the stands, and it looks like they're at 50%. Well, watching that game on Saturday, it looked like 50% capacity. By the way, you can buy all your tickets on drinkinbrostickets.com for all of these games. I bought my own tickets for fucking Texas on there on Saturday. It's great. Look, the prices are going to be higher this year, obviously, because everybody's at 20% capacity. That is not us. That is just the market dictating that. Like, so look, you can buy your tickets there, and if I'm in Athens, I'm raging and going to this game. This is going to be a blast.
I got to see.
But I got Georgia in this one.
I got to do some math on this one. Hang on a sec, because I want to see. It's a fucking 42 over under with a 12.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I did not see that over under. That is a Buffalo Bills over under there, 42. How many points has Tennessee scored this year?
Hang on a sec. Let me see.
Georgia's defense, though, is disgusting. I'm a big fan. Yeah, they barely beat South Carolina. They kicked the shit out of Missouri, but Tennessee.
At that spread, that's a 28-14 game, basically.
Yeah, that's what I have this at. That's exactly what I think the spread of this game is going to be, actually. Yeah. I mean, the final score. I could see Georgia winning 28-7.
Yeah, I'll take that.
But I'm not going to bet the under on this, and there's no way.
No.
But I'm going to take Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Georgia. Next up is the UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio, against BYU. This spread is monstrous at minus 34.5. The only reason I'm talking about this, because I'm certainly not betting it, is there is a collection of Drinkin Bro listeners who have been all in on BYU this year. And they've been covering every single fucking game.
I'm fine with that, and I think it's an exciting team. And their former players, are mostly great. We know a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Alex Guerrero, the NFL agent, is a good friend of ours. He's a former BYU guy. A lot of guys.
No, he's a BS. He went to Boise State.
Boise State. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is BYU. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I confused those. BYU. They're an independent FBS, right?
Yeah, this is Jeffrey Epstein's school. He doesn't care how you bring him. Just bring him young.
Yeah.
Sorry, too soon or not soon enough?
Brigham Young did say that there's no way to enter the celestial kingdom without having multiple spirit wives, so that's kind of weird.
Yep.
At any rate,
same guy.
BYU, there's no chance in hell that I'm ever betting a fucking 34.5 point spread on
BYU.
I don't care if they were playing one guy.
Yep.
And it was like the Tiger King. The Tiger King versus the entire squad of BYU, and I'm not giving them that many points.
The Tiger King with a stun gun and a cane. I'm still not taking 34.5
He's going to need
points.
the cane because he can't really get around that well. Particularly not now. Can you imagine what a guy that looks and acts like him that's been in jail now since January? What do you think he's up to right now?
Yeesh.
He's definitely holding on to somebody's fucking pocket as he's walking around the prison.
For sure.
Sure. Don't bet BYU ever.
Well, I don't mind if you bet BYU, just not a 34.5. No, I'm not going to take that. Next up is Texas Tech at Iowa State. There is no point spread on this, and it might be COVID related. Do you have a point spread?
No, I don't. I don't know. Is somebody hurt?
No, it might be COVID related. I know one of these schools was involved in a postponement for something COVID. So they might be trying to figure out which players.
My bookie's got it at 12.5 right now, but the fact that Vegas doesn't have it listed somewhere right now is you should wait.
Very odd. Yes.
Yeah, you should definitely wait.
Very odd. But look, if it helps, it's the Big 12. And I wouldn't waste your money on a Big 12 bet this year. That is a trap. These guys are coin tosses this year. By the way, favorite running back name in college football this year is definitely Kentucky's running back, Courvoisier Smoke. Big fan of his name.
Is it spelled like Courvoisier?
No. You know what it's spelled like? It's spelled like somebody who didn't know how to spell Courvoisier. And it's just a bunch of combined letters. It is a very unfortunate spelling for Courvoisier Smoke.
Don't know what to say. I'm not
it's a
sure.
Great name.
Not sure what I'm allowed to say
about that.
It's just be
nothing. You're not
real
allowed to say
honest,
anything
yeah.
on this.
4-4 Braves now, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, there we go, baby. Next up, we got Arkansas. Not your Kansas, Arkansas.
You know it's illegal to say that on
versus
the courthouse
Auburn.
steps.
Is it really?
It's illegal to mispronounce the word Arkansas on the courthouse steps. It's one of those stupid laws. Have you ever seen those lists of weird laws that are still remaining from back in the day? Yeah.
Georgia has one where if you have a liquor license from the 1800s, you're still allowed to serve 24 hours a day. There's only two that exist.
Now, why would you not be able to run your business 24 hours a day should you so choose?
I know.
Because, by the way, the 21st Amendment of the Constitution that repealed that whole nonsense where booze is illegal.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So it's legally a constitutionally guaranteed right to be able to drink alcohol in this country.
Yeah.
Why has no one ever sued Utah?
Who knows?
Or any of these stupid southern states with your blue laws. Nobody cares what you're doing on Sundays. I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'll be in my underwear, drinking booze, watching football.
Smoking
Shut
weed.
the fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that's a given.
It's a given.
I don't need to add that to the list.
Yeah. Weed is still illegal too, though, D'Anthony. That's why I bring it up. You're breaking the law every day.
No, it's decriminalized in Austin, actually.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Anything under an ounce is decriminalized in Austin.
Good for them. Arkansas against Auburn. Don't do it, kids. This is minus 14 for Auburn. Auburn looked horrific last week. Arkansas finally won a game.
Yeah, but I mean, look.
There was a Drinkin Bro who bet heavily on this and put his bet slip in there. I was like, ooh, that is fucking brass.
Well,
dangling from that ding-dong of yours, my man.
That was a smart bet, though, because Mississippi State was absolutely a pretender.
Yeah.
I mean, they got worked. On the defensive side, mostly, they got worked.
Sheesh.
I mean, they looked like you can't fucking let Arkansas come in and hold you to 14 points. Ever. If you're a high school team, you can't allow that to happen.
No, not at all.
Uh-oh.
Next one. This was a fun game,
Boom.
dude. This is Bama against Ole Miss.
Wait a minute. Travis Darno just hit a 3-run homer for the Braves. They're now up 7-4.
Yes!
So I'm going to have to eat my words for saying Miami's going to win this series.
The Bravos are going to take it home.
I'm using the John Anik method where I bet against my own team always, just so at least I win something in the end.
Bama against Ole Miss. Battle of the hottest student bodies right now because Arizona State is not playing. Love those ladies at ASU. Don't think I'm disrespecting you. You're just not playing until November. Look, this is a fun game because it's Lane Kiffin. He's in the SEC. He's going up against Saban. No former assistant coach has beaten Saban at Alabama.
Not ever?
Nope. So will Lane Kiffin be the first one? The spread is Bama minus 23.
The answer this weekend is no.
No.
Very obviously no.
But I will say this. Lane Kiffin, he doesn't have any of his recruits in. He got hired late. Once he gets the Lane train going, it was bombs away against Florida. They put up, 38 points against Florida. I mean, something crazy. It was like 58-38 in that game. This will be a fun game to watch because he will bomb the ball the entire game. 23 points, though, is a lot.
It's a lot, but I think
Bama will probably do it. I'm just not going to bet it in real life.
Here's the problem. Well, I mean, there's two sides of this story. One is what I was talking about earlier, where if you're in this competitive SEC, if you're Alabama, it's not disrespectful to try to run up the score. People think that it's a sign of disrespect to run up the score. No, that's showing how good our conference is because we have to show how much better we are than these teams and everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not, people see it as a sign of disrespect. A sign of disrespect is somebody not treating you like a threat. Mm-hmm. Treating you like an intrinsic threat, that is a sign, the ultimate sign of respect. Right. So I don't understand why these teams always, it's embarrassing, but if you didn't want to get embarrassed, you should have fucking played harder.
Yeah, dude, pull up your pants.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think Alabama's going to fucking light these guys on fucking fire.
Yeah, man, I do too. But 23 is a lot, and I don't think I'm putting my real American dollars on it.
I'm going to see how it goes through the week. I think 68 is low for the over-under, to be honest. I think I might bet the over
69.
on that. Well, maybe it will be by the end of the week. I'm going to see how everybody else bets to see if maybe some Ole Miss homers get involved and drive that line down a little bit, and then maybe I'll buy a point and take it down even further because I think it's a 3-score game probably.
I'm not going to touch it, but I will be watching it. Now, the next game I will be watching as well. This is the game of the week in college football because we never get to see Clemson play a ranked team ever. And this is it, buddy. This is the one game of the year for them where it's not ranked.
Well, it's this and Notre Dame now.
If Notre Dame stays that way, though.
They will.
We'll see. Notre Dame's always good for some shitty loss. We'll find out.
They are good for a shitty loss, but they usually stay in the top 15 or so.
They do. That's true. I like Ohio State's good for a shitty loss here, too.
Yeah.
It's like an Iowa where it's like the cancer
or
game
fucking
or something.
Purdue, yeah.
Miami against Clemson. At this, ESPN's got it at -14. What does mybookie.com have it at?
Let me update it.
Because this is a big deal. Because I'm
Yeah,
going to
it's
have
still 14.
All right, so I'm going to have to buy a half a point on this. I'm going to go Clemson. I've watched Miami play twice. Unfortunately, one was against Louisville, where I actually picked Louisville. I still do not believe in Miami. This is the first Clemson spread that is under 28 this year. And I'm going to buy a half a point to be safe about it. But I think Clemson finally turns it on and blows the doors off because they have to.
Yeah.
They're on national television. This is ABC. This is the primetime game of the week. This is your only ranked opponent besides Notre Dame, and you need to blow their fucking doors off.
Yeah.
So I'm all in on Clemson, but at 13.5, not 14.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, I honestly think they're going to win by 21 or more. But
So do I. But just to be,
there's no point in not buying half a point.
But I tell all of the listeners this, man. If it's 10, take it down half a point to 9.5. If it's 14, take it down half a point. Just to be safe, because you don't want to push and then end up, watching an entire game and then pushing. It's like having sex for 3 hours and nobody has an orgasm. It's worthless. It's fucking worthless. So I'm in on Clemson at 13.5 here. Florida State is up next against Notre Dame. That's lovely team that we always talk about. Notre Dame is back from COVID and with a big spread here. This is Notre Dame -21 in this game. Yeesh. I don't believe in Notre Dame enough with a spread like this to even waste my time.
I mean, Miami beat Florida State by 42 points.
Yeah. Look, it is certainly possible that they will blow them out. I don't believe in Notre Dame. I don't. Not on a 3-score game.
No, I mean they're just too. It's for the same reason. I expect them to win this game, but I don't. It's like betting on Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not the kind of player he is. He puts up great fantasy numbers, all that stuff. But Pete Carroll, despite having a reputation as an offensive guy when he was coaching in college, has managed a great defense for a very long time in Seattle, right? And you just don't. You have to think about it from that perspective. If one of your best weapons is your defense, you have to manage between the offense and the defense. And when I say manage, you have to keep your defense off the field as much as possible, which means game management plays and taking longer drives and all this other bullshit. And usually it doesn't result in run-up scores like that. So if you're not supremely confident in your if you don't have a great defense that you're like the Ravens back in the day or the Steelers back in the day that you're willing to throw out there under any, or the 49ers before all these injuries that you're willing to throw out there under any circumstances,
right,
then you have to at least think about keeping your offense on the field as long as possible. You know what I mean? Like the Chiefs do it now. You can see it. They changed just this year. People are like, oh, the Chiefs defense is so much better this year. No, they're just on the field less.
Right.
They're on the field. Like last night, they had a problem with that. I think there was like a point in the game where over the stretch of 20 minutes or so, their defense was on the field for 80% of it.
Right.
That's bad news for any defense, but much less teams that have problems. So you don't want to expose your defense that much. I think Notre Dame is probably one of those teams. Their defense is good enough.
Yeah.
And they don't want to fucking keep them out there all the time. And they historically have played that kind of game. It's not a high-powered offense. It's not a Big 12 school. So whenever I see a 3-point or a 3-score spread like that with a team like that, it's like, come on, man. Like probably, but if anything goes wrong,
you're fucked.
It's
not worth your money.
Why is it worth the bet? I don't get it.
Me neither. Last but not least here, to all you LSU fans who are no doubt talking shit about me. LSU. This is Missouri, and this is a big boy spread here. This is 3 touchdowns.
Missouri's really bad.
Really bad.
I mean, they might be one of the worst teams in the 5 major conferences.
So they put this spread at 20.5, right? And that is simply to lure you in of like, well, is it a 3-score game? Well, if they win by 21, you're going to win by a half a point. I understand Missouri's bad. Vanderbilt was bad last week, and that's who LSU played last week, right? I watched the LSU game because I wanted to try to learn more about that team because, let's face it, they're all new. And I tried to figure out how they get fucking housed by Mississippi State.
I would just say wait a week.
Same.
On LSU. So, if they dominate this game, then you can be pretty sure they figured out a couple of things. And against these mid-level or sub-mid-level teams, they'll be able to beat these spreads. But I wouldn't bet it this week.
I wouldn't either. And here was the other thing that my biggest takeaway was I watched that Miles Brennan kid because they're kind of deciding if he's going to be the guy, right?
Right.
He was 23 of 37. Now, he had 4 touchdowns, but 23 of 37. isn't that accurate.
How many drops? What kind of passes was he missing versus were passes being missed because wide receivers are running the wrong routes?
Here's the toughest thing about that game, because Vanderbilt has some turnovers, and it's like I don't know who this team is yet. I know they're probably a 2 to 3 loss team, but not enough to bet on a 3-score game like this. Like, do they cover? Probably, because Missouri's terrible, but I don't. Unless you're a diehard Homer fan, you just want some money on the game. This isn't one where you're sitting there going, man, that's a lock, brother. That's a lock. I wouldn't do it.
Ooh, damn. Another 2-run homer for the Braves.
Yeah, piling on, dude.
9-4.
Did you bet this, Fake Dan? Did you bet any of these baseball games today?
Not today, no.
Not today, okay. No.
Put some respect on the Missouri, though, by the way. On Missouri.
No. Is that where did you go to college there?
Yeah.
Giorgio?
Yeah.
You fucking dirtbag. Did you wrestle there?
He wrestled dudes there.
No shit.
Yeah.
So, dude, before all their bullshit, man, everybody said Mizzou was a fucking great school.
It was the party school until
know.
people started doing hunger strikes and shit.
Yes.
What do you mean hunger strikes?
There was a huge thing
It was
with
a
the
poop
football
swastika.
program.
Oh, is one of those?
Yeah.
The poop swastika started everything.
That's the one that nuked their program, and everybody fucking bounced on that school, man. It was a weird thing where it was just like, because Missouri had some really good teams, and they were on the way back, and then all of a sudden, all the alumni backed out, everybody backed out. It was the poop swastika, huh?
In 2015, it says,
Yeah.
A grad student went on hunger strike in Missouri after a swastika was drawn with human feces. Now, I understand feeling a certain way about that. Like, for example, I'm a white man, and if I woke up tomorrow and on the side of my house was a swastika and feces, I would be very angry about that. Not just because I've got to clean it off, but because I don't want fucking hateful people like that anywhere near me.
Yeah.
And I especially don't want them to fucking have the power to affect my day-to-day life. However, that's one asshole. It's not representative of anything. You're going to go on a hunger strike for that? Why don't you just, like, go find a guy and kick the shit out of him?
Yeah.
Why make your own life worse?
So they did it until the president of the University of Missouri system stepped down and announced his white privilege.
Oh, that's right. And that's why everybody fucking raged. That's right.
Oof.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouth of decadence. Whenever I hear Hunger Strike, all I think of is that fucking song, dude. Poop swastika.
His father also brought in $12 million a year.
Oof.
The grad student, you mean?
That was hunger striking, yes.
You're
yeah,
kidding.
good. So that's okay, but like faking athletics to get your kid in school is not good enough.
The fucking worst. Free Aunt Becky, by the way, because rowing is a sport in our hearts and minds.
Give me
and
that Becky.
The daughter was so hot, dude. Like, let her fucking do whatever she wants. Let's flop over to the NFL, shall we, kids? MyBookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit. I am betting this Thursday night game. I took a Thursday night game off. Look, these games have been terrible.
They have been, yeah.
Junky shit, awful, but the Buccaneers have been playing really well. It's Tampa Bay minus 4.5 here on this quick turnaround, and I can't figure out why, Dan. I honestly have no idea why this is 4.5. Did someone die for the Buccaneers? Because the Bears looked horrific last week, and on 4 days, you're going to tell me they're magically going to turn it around? Not a fucking prayer. Brady threw 5 touchdowns on Sunday.
Well, Tampa Bay ranks among last in the league for defense, right?
But
they're not great. So, but yeah, like you're about to say, that's not really what we're worried about when it comes to Chicago. Tariq Cohen's gone, and it is. Forget about Big Dick Nick. I feel like if Cohen was there, then he would be doing all right. Right, Nick would be doing all right now, but he's not.
No,
and they have no run game. And just like last week, the Bucs are going to be able to sit back. They're going to be able to run all these fucking cover 2 and nickel defenses and shit like that. And good luck, Nick. I mean, I don't know what his plan is or what their plan is for running the ball or whatever the fuck, but it's not going to work. And Brady's even against that defense, they're kind of locked in now. Provided Evans is healthy, like he's questionable again. He has been all season, but he's been questionable. The first game of the season was not great. Ever since then, because I got him in fantasy, it's like 23 points every single game.
Yeah,
21 to 23 points every single game. He'll play. And he will catch probably at least 1 touchdown pass. I think they're going to be fine.
Same, and they only have to win by a touchdown. I don't understand this. Therefore, I am going really aggressive on this game. Shit, man. This might be a $500 bet for me, like a big one. This might be a big boy. And Gronkowski hasn't done shit this year. Like, this could be his breakout game.
Yeah.
I'm all in on this. I don't understand it, but I love it. Are they playing in a fucking hurricane? Like, what's the story here?
It's Chicago. I don't think there are hurricanes there.
Whatever, man. Like, fuck it. Is there a Sharknado that's going to hit Soldier Field? Like, what's that for?
I think actually, if you look around Chicago, they have signs that say "No Sharknadoes." And then right above the "No guns allowed," so they're not going to be there.
And then right underneath it says "No Tara Reid."
Because that's how that works.
Yeah.
If there's a sign that says you can't have something,
And you can't have something.
People don't bring it.
Yeah, they don't do it.
Everybody knows that.
I'm all in on the Buccaneers, and look for me to go heavy on that. Get ready for me to flex my ball sack on that game. Next up, we got the Panthers against the Falcons. Fuck you, Falcons.
No one's gonna
how
watch
does the
this.
coach have a job today? How
I
does
don't know.
Dan Quinn have his job today in that city? Jesus
I don't know, the
Christ.
Texans-
Arthur Blank, get your shit together.
Texans just made a change.
Yes.
Finally, they should have done that a year ago. To be honest.
Same with the Falcons.
Yeah. I mean, even last year, after every single game with the Falcons, it's like, oh, is he going to get fired again?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
no.
No, I don't know. He's still there, but he is. I don't look. It's 2.5. Atlanta's favored again for some magical reason. They were favored 2 weeks ago too. I don't know why. I'm not betting this. I'm not touching it. I bet heavily against the Falcons. I had $1,000 total against the Falcons last night. I won all of that money, but this game, Panthers versus Falcons. Look, McCaffrey's out for Carolina. Falcons. Julio Jones is got a hamstring injury, which is real. That is definitely not fake, because the next 5 games on paper,
Right.
the Falcons could win them and easily go 5-4 because they're playing shitty teams. So if they were at full strength with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and all those guys,
Maybe.
I would say yes. Even Todd Gurley's looked decent. He had 2 touchdowns last night, but I don't trust the Falcons. And Mike Davis has looked all right replacing fucking homeboy here. So no, don't bet this game. This is stupid unless you're a fan of these teams. I'm a fan of these teams, and I'm not even betting this fucking game. Put it up your butt, dude. Take this game, go to Kinko's, print it out, and then stuff that piece of paper right up your ass. Don't bet this game. Are you betting this game?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah, I was like,
I'm trying to
Jesus.
figure out the logistics of printing out a game onto paper.
So go ahead and just print out like the roster. You know how they get those like fun little rosters.
I
when
thought
you,
you
walk
meant
in
like
and,
take a screenshot of every frame of the entire game as it's playing, then shove that whole
do
ream
that
of
too.
paper up your ass, because that's going to be a lot of paper.
you do that too.
How
But
much paper and ink can you stuff up your ass before it becomes a medical issue?
How gaping is an Atlanta Falcons fan's asshole?
Well, at
though,
this point,
after
it's
the
probably
beating
pretty
yes,
big, yeah.
dude, it's huge. You could fit a whole ream of paper
That's
up there.
true. All right.
Next up, Bills and Titans. This is going to be a sexy game.
If it happens,
There's no spread.
there's no spread because the Titans haven't been cleared to play yet. Because of coronavirus.
Corona. I find it odd, by the way, Patriots fans, that the only person who tests positive is Cam Newton. Where the fuck was Cam Newton? The opening day of ass eating season, he tests positive for coronavirus.
Yeah, it's true.
Where was he at that the rest of the team wasn't?
I mean, your supposition, inferred or otherwise, is clearly that he was eating ass somewhere, right?
yeah, dude, this is dumb. This is dumb, but I don't know what the spread is going to be. We'll see if this game actually happens. It's a great game. My guess would be around the 3.5 range for this for the Bills. Probably Bills minus 3.5.
Maybe.
The Bills have been sexy all year. I called them to win the AFC, and they have so far delivered, and it has been great. Josh Allen is a blast to watch in
71%.
fantasy.
71%, 1,300 yards, and fucking 12 TDs already. He's
Big
looking
fan.
pretty good.
What's his rushing yards?
That's a good. I don't even know. Let me look. I mean, it's a
Probably
lot. I'm
fucking
sure.
200.
He's doing it right. Let's see.
He's great.
Passing. God damn it. Show me the fucking numbers.
Imagine if the
bitch.
Browns had this guy.
Imagine if the Browns had anybody.
Look, the Browns are 3-1 despite their shitty quarterback. which
He's
is
only got
crazy.
like 83 rushing yards this year, but he's got three touchdowns.
3 touchdowns
already,
rushing. Okay.
Yeah, so he's on pace for for 12 rushing touchdowns this year. That'd be a pretty good.
It wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. He's been great in fantasy. Next game up, check back for that spread, and then I'll post it live on Sunday. I'll probably put something on that game with the Bills, actually. I'm going to ride the hot hand on that, but I want to see what that spread is. Check on Drinkin Bros Sports on Sunday on Facebook. This next game, Dan, is exactly what we were talking about at the top of the show. It is the Raiders against the Chiefs, and it is Chiefs minus 13. That is a gigantic spread for the NFL for a Raiders team that has played pretty goddamn good. But which Chiefs team is going to show up?
Well, this is a rivalry game,
It is.
but I don't know if it's a rivalry game for Mahomes in his own head. That's the difference,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, A rivalry game for the Warriors would have been L.A., but there were those years where L.A. just sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So every time, it was more of a rivalry game for Clay because Clay's from L.A.
Right.
So all of his family was there, and he liked to play in front of his family, so he usually showed out in those games. But Steph didn't, really tear the Lakers up in L.A. Right, usually. So I don't know what gets Mahomes up. I think it's a challenge from another young, really good player. Look, the Raiders are an up-and-coming team, but David Carr has been around for a while, so I don't know if that's something that really motivates him. And aside, it is at home, and they're going to have fans there, and their fans hate the Raiders. The Chiefs fans are the nicest people on earth until somebody shows up in Raiders gear. Then they're unhappy just to see them existing somewhere. So I think maybe this is one of those games where you can count on Mahomes to fucking cover that spread.
Oof. I almost, man, look, man, they play down to their competition. After this last game, I part of me wants to take the 13 in this. And
this
with
is also a division game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And with a 6-point teaser, by the way, it drives it up to 19 in this fucking game on some of those parlays. So, God, I never bet against the Chiefs, but I think I might take the Raiders with the 13 this week. That is too many points.
Good luck.
I know. Cause
I mean, if you
depends
take
on which Chiefs team shows up.
If you take a teaser to 19, that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I wouldn't fuck my parlay up for that either because you never know. They might come out and drop 50.
No. And that's the thing is, do they want to play? That is what is so frustrating about this team and the Warriors. Do they want to play? Because they should beat everybody by 60.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Cardinals against Jets. Yeesh. That is a awful game.
We can just move on from that one.
Can we? It's Cardinals -7 in this one. The Jets are 0-4. They have given up on life. Are they trying to get Trevor Lawrence?
If the Jets
Is that what they're trying to do?
and the Falcons go defeated this year,
It's not going to happen.
well, we'll see.
The Jets could. I don't think the Falcons will win like 2 games.
If they did, what would be the tiebreaker? Is there even a fucking rule for what the tiebreaker for the worst two teams?
There
I
is.
know there's for the best two teams.
There is. I'm not sure what it is, but my God, man, I don't see the Jets. I don't know if the Jets can win a fucking football game. So look at Arizona. Maybe take it down to 6.5.
Yeah, I'm not.
And have fun. I think I might actually at 6.5. To be honest with you.
No way.
The Jets are just fucking awful, man. To my knowledge, Arizona doesn't have any injuries. Hopkins is playing. All those guys. I don't know why the spread is where it is.
I just don't. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to care what happens here. And if I put money on the game, I'm going to have to care, and I don't want to have to care.
Let's ask Fake Dan. Snap decision. Cardinals, Jets.
I feel like you have to bet against the Jets until proven otherwise. Kind of like Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take Arizona at 6.5. I think just to do it. This next game is super fascinating. Eagles against the Steelers. And the reason why is the Eagles actually came back and won that game last week. Man, they should be better than their record indicates. They're 1-2-1 right now. The Steelers are 3-0. This is Pittsburgh -7. Look, I bet Houston at the Steelers, and it was -4.5. And the Texans were getting the 4.5.
Right.
And they still lost late in the fourth quarter on that spread. I don't see the Eagles beating the Steelers.
Go ahead and tell me who. So you referenced the Eagles coming back and winning that game last week.
It was the 49ers, right?
Tell me who the quarterback for the 49ers was.
It was Nick Mullins.
Okay, good. So we're good that game doesn't count then?
I like Nick Mullins. Is it weird that I like him better than Garoppolo?
Well, no, because Garoppolo is terrible. But Nick Mullins threw 2 interceptions against a defense that hasn't really performed that well. And Carson Wentz is, man, I can't think. He's Ryan Leaf at this point to me. Like, get him out of there. Get him out. He's a cancer for that fucking team. He won't follow the goddamn game plan. He's got all the physical tools in the world.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a whole lot of tools on the field that you would want if you're that good of a quarterback, but he's got all the physical tools in the world except for up here, and he can't get it together. He won't fucking execute the game plan. You can see him fucking ad-libbing in the middle of the game. Like, you can tell by the formation what's supposed to happen there, and you can see him going around the other side, throwing crossbody and doing all this stupid shit. We talk about Mahomes is is Brett Favre without all the mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz is Brett Favre, but only the mistakes. He is terrible. Get rid of him, Philly. He's the worst quarterback in the NFL right now that's getting paid a real quarterback salary. Get him out of there.
The Steelers have a great defense, too.
They sure do. He's going to get fucking wrecked. He's going to be under pressure all game long.
I agree. So I will take this at 6.5, and I'll take the Steelers on this at 6.5.
That's an easy pick.
And do it faux show. Next up, this line. Man, I looked at this last night.
It's weird.
It has been all over the map, man.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, this line was at 10.5. Then it was at 9.5. Now I've got it at 7.5 here on ESPN. What does my bookie have it at?
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea.
And I'm not sure why. But it is the LA Rams against the Washington football team. And it is minus 7.5 for the Rams. Is Chase Young back? Like, what?
I don't know.
What happened that the line moved that much?
I honestly don't know, and it wouldn't matter because I wouldn't bet this game either way.
The Rams didn't cover last week against the Giants.
Never do. Like Jared Goff is a good backup quarterback. They need to find a real quarterback for that team.
I'll take the Rams minus 6.5. I'll buy 1 point and do this.
I don't care enough about this game to do that.
They're 3-1. I'll do it. I'll do it. Next up, we got the Bengals against the Ravens. The Ravens minus 13 in this big boy spread. Look, man, Burrow is a competitive little motherfucker, and he finally got his first victory last week.
Yeah.
He tied the Eagles. Truthfully, he should have won that game too. He's a gamer, man. 13 points against the Ravens. Whew.
Well,
probably the Ravens, man.
Aside from the Chiefs, they've won every game by 13 or more.
Yes, they have. They have.
I think that's probably a safe bet.
I do too. And I will. This will be a lighter bet. I'll probably throw a hondo on this and go the Ravens in this. But the Bengals have a lot of fucking moxie. The Ravens defense is great except for the Chiefs. But look, the Chiefs are all world.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about that.
If they try, you can't beat them, basically.
No. Jaguars at the Texans is up next. This is minus 6 for Houston.
You can't go fucking almost a full score bet. I don't care who the opponent is the week the coach gets fired. Are you kidding me, dude? Do not bet on this game. I don't give a shit. What else
Romeo
you do this week?
Crennel is now the coach there. I have a different take on this. Mine is the fact that I think all of the players hated Bill O'Brien. They hated all of the trades he made and all of these shitty moves. I think the opposite. I think the Texans come out and stomp because they're so amped to get him the fuck out of that building. I'm going to bet the Houston Texans in this game.
Here's the problem. Romeo Crennel is a fucking loser. He loses. Everywhere he goes, he loses. When he was with Kansas City, they sucked. When he went to the Browns, they sucked out loud for years, more than anybody else. He is a fucking loser. Now, if it was a different coach, I would probably go your way on this because that does make a lot of sense, and Bill O'Brien is not a well-liked guy by the players. But Romeo Crennel, he carries that loser stinker, right? He's like Pigpen from Charlie Brown with a little cloud of fucking loser.
Do you want to make this the Fight Club game of the week? I'm going to take
I don't
the
want
Texans.
This game is so bad. No, what I'm saying is don't fuck. The Jaguars are fucking terrible. Let's be real.
Yes.
But giving an 0-4 team 6 points, like, come on, man.
It was nice to have DJ Shark back on my team. DJ Shark, he was back on my team.
Can we not do that?
Yeah, we can. We can do that forever now. I'm taking the Texans. I'm riding the pony. I think they get their first win, and I think they covered this.
No fucking way. I'm betting this. And by the way, sports in Texas this year just not doing well.
No.
I mean, the
it's
Stars.
as if no one's played football this year.
The Stars did well, made it to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
but didn't
football,
perform well.
There's not
football,
a good team in the entire states.
And for baseball, the only team that's doing well
team
is because they cheat.
Yes.
Right.
Next up, we got the Dolphins at the 49ers. I don't have a spread on this one. Do you
There's
have
no
a spread
on this game because I don't even know if it's going to be televised.
I don't know who's playing, if anybody's healthy, who these players are.
Fitzmagic is going to be in the starting lineup again and not Tua.
Yeah.
That's already been announced
it has?
this week. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Look,
I
guess there's no spread because you're waiting to see if Garoppolo is going to play. But
maybe, yeah. I would probably tune in, to be honest, if Tua was playing. Not because I want to see him play, but because I want to see how hard he gets hit.
Yeah. And
see
how that hip does.
Yeah, he's about the size of this White Claw can, right?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
And he's had like fucking multiple surgeries on his lower body on both legs.
Yeah.
And he's going to last about 12 seconds.
He's got squirrel implants in his legs.
Oh, really? Squirrel?
Yeah, they took some fucking bone marrow from a squirrel or did some weird fucking surgery.
That's probably not true.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who knows? Next up, we got the Colts and the Browns. Tough game to bet on here.
This is a real tough game.
This is essentially a pick'em.
Yeah.
This is Colts minus 1.5. Look, the Browns are 3-1. The Colts are 3-1. I said the Colts were the sleeper team this year in the AFC, and they've lived up to that. It depends, man. Phillip Rivers, it's been in spite of Phillip. He's only thrown one touchdown in every single game.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
And Kareem Hunt's looked pretty fucking good.
well, so here's the other thing. I have Nick Chubb, and I have him on a lot of my fantasy teams. He just got put on the injured reserve, so he is out for a very long time.
But Kareem Hunt has looked very good so far this year.
And
he's Kareem Hunt.
Yes. And so you're fine on that. You're fine with the Nick Chubb thing. Kareem Hunt is more than capable to play this, and this is a very, very tough game to choose. I have a hard time betting on the Browns ever.
Yeah.
Therefore, I will personally sit this game out because I don't know. And the spread is exactly where it should be at 1.5.
I mean, the Colts defense is sweltering. It is very difficult to move the ball up and down the field against the Colts defense. As a matter of fact, I believe they rank second in yards allowed this year. And it's not like they played great teams. They played the Jaguars, Jets, and Bears. None of them have an offense. So maybe it's a misnomer so far. Maybe it's a red herring. We don't know that it's accurate or not, but it does seem like the Colts have a pretty good defense.
Right.
I don't know against this Browns team.
Look, they have all the weapons. Odell Beckham Jr. is
but
finally
you never
playing great.
know.
You don't know, and therefore I'm not putting any of my American dollars on this whatsoever. Next game is the Giants and the Cowboys. Now, if you're saying to yourself, the Giants are the worst team ever at 0-4, keep in mind the Cowboys are only one game ahead of them at 1-3, and the spread is minus 9.5 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Giants. They have so many injuries at this point that it's like, I know Golden Tate, but I don't know if he'll be playing because he
might
punched,
get suspended.
He might get suspended for punching Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey, who's got 2 kids with his sister. Yeah,
correct.
I believe
Brianna Tate.
There's some kind of drama about all that nonsense.
Drama. So look, you're betting the Cowboys. You're playing with fire right now. 9.5 points. That is a monstrous spread for a team that is 1-3. Do I think the Cowboys win? Absolutely. At 9.5, do you really want to put your paycheck on that? No, you do not.
Nor do I want. I mean, this next game, the Broncos and Patriots, doesn't have a spread yet, presumably because we don't know who the Patriots are going to start at quarterback. Because Hoyer didn't last very long.
If it's 14 days, Cam can't play in this game.
No, Cam definitely can't. But do they sign
Stidham,
somebody?
Well, here's the thing. So Stidham came in last night.
Yeah.
Stidham came in and finished out that game. I can't believe they started Brian Hoyer. That didn't make any sense to me.
Well,
I know he knows no, he doesn't know the playbook better than fucking Stidham.
Well, he's been around there for a while, right?
He has, I guess, but Stidham's been around for a year. And if that's the guy, right, I don't know why not start him last night, but they didn't.
Who knows with Belichick, man? Honestly, he may have not cared about that game and only wanted to get Stidham tuned up to play this game.
Right.
There's a good chance that he knew he wasn't going to win against the Chiefs anyways. So why let your guy go out there and get wrecked in his first start?
Right.
Just like bring him in, because no matter if you bring him in at halftime, it doesn't matter what happens for the rest of the game. If he shows any success at all, that's a win for you. And now you've got a fresh start to a new game. It's probably going to be Stidham.
Yeah.
But that's probably why he did it, right?
Right.
I would think. But
one would guess.
Who the fuck knows with Belichick? I think that
I
guy,
don't know.
he's like Karl Rove. He made a deal with the devil back in the day, and he just is successful now at whatever the fuck he does.
Damian Harris looked great last night for the Patriots at running back. Look, Jerry Jeudy's been as advertised for the Broncos, but they've got a ton of injuries as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what Drew Lock. I don't know how long he's out for.
We'll
There's
see.
no spread on this.
No,
and,
I think sometime in the next day or two they'll announce.
They will.
Stidham
And if
as a
it's
starter.
If I would probably put this at a 4-point spread, 3.5 when this actually comes out for the Patriots minus.
But that's
3.5.
basically for a home game. That's basically a pick 'em.
And I agree because look with Stidham, you don't know what's going to happen, but I'd be inclined to throw a little bit of quiche on the Patriots then, but we'll see. I don't know what that spread's going to be. Next up, we get Vikings at the Seahawks. This is the Sunday night game. This is Seattle -7. Seattle has been on fire. Russell Wilson has been the MVP of the league. That pains my soul to say it, but it is true. And I am definitely going to take this. I'm going to take this at Seattle, though, at 6.5. I'll buy a 0.5 point and take Seattle. The Vikings are playing in some other world that is mirroring ours, but it is definitely not this world.
No, the Vikings are terrible. And, this is a big game for them. Frankly, it's
make or break. That's it.
It's this is their season, and it's against one of the top teams in the NFC. And if they don't win, then their season's pretty much over after this. And what we know about Kirk Cousins is the vast majority of the time, 75 or 80% of the time in a big game, he doesn't do well. Right. So I think this is a safe bet. I wouldn't even take point. I wouldn't even take it down. I would take it Seattle -7. Save your money. Don't go down to 6.5.
I will, just because it's Seattle and they could fuck around at the end of this, dude, and do.
I think this is going to be.
Seattle
I
things.
think this is a 20-point game. To be honest,
I agree, man. But look, it's Seattle. Seattle does Seattle things up there, dude, and they don't like to cover spreads. Now, this last one is my lock of the week in the NFL. I was monitoring this game this morning. It was at 7. Now it is up to 7.5. This is Chargers against the Saints. I am all in on the Saints at -6.5. This is my lock of the week in the NFL. So I am betting the house on this this Monday night game. And I don't think the Saints have looked terrible this year. I don't know if Michael Thomas is playing. It doesn't really matter. I know Austin Eckler is out for the Chargers.
Their really only offensive weapon at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you're down to Hunter Henry, I guess, and Herbert is their quarterback. But, the Saints are at home. I think there's fans in the stands for this game, but double check on that. I know Benny, the ticket guru. Go to drinkinbrostickets.com. If they're on there, they're on there, and you'll know. But they might be only letting like 5,000 fans or something into the game. But I am all in on the Saints at -6.5. This is my favorite game of the week. It sucks that it's the Monday night game. Well, actually, that Thursday night game with the Buccaneers is great too. But my lock, if you're going to put the cash down, is it's Saints -6.5 this week.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I think the Chargers overperformed a couple of times this year.
Yeah.
Even in one of their losses, they overperformed against last week against the Buccaneers. They overperformed, I think. And you can't count the Saints out for too long. If there's fans in that stadium, in the Mercedes arena there's no fucking way the Chargers come anywhere close to this. I think this is kind of a low spread for that, but if they're going to give it to you, take it, right?
Yeah, absolutely take it. Let's see here. For the Saints, November 8th is the when they're going to have fans in the stands in New Orleans here. I'm looking it up on drinkinbrostickets.com. Whew, those are pricey. Look, man, Saints fans are amazing. A bunch of you hit us up and say, hey, man, the tickets have been crazy this year. At 20% capacity, you bet. It's going to be crazy all year, man. I don't think the Big Ten is allowing fans at all for any of those games. But I am all in on this Saints game, and that is my lock of the week in the NFL. Fake Dan, you have anybody? Who's your team? You're a gambler as well.
He's an Eagles fan. I can feel him.
Yeah, I'm a scumbag Eagles fan.
Are you really?
I'm from
fucking
Philly.
Knew it, dude.
I could feel him tightening.
Delaware County, Delco.
I could feel him tightening up when I was talking about how big a piece of shit Carson Wentz is. Get him out.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Get him out. Get him out. Who's your lock this week? Who do you got? You're a gambling junkie as well.
Yeah, no, my lock, I'll go college.
Sure.
Tease Clemson with Notre Dame.
Notre Dame on a 6-point teaser?
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll knock that Notre Dame spread down to 15 and
I would say
Clemson down
teaser.
to 8.
Yeah, that's fine.
My bookie's only 6-point teasers.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's what you're going to do. I don't mind that. I just Notre Dame, man.
Notre Dame's rolling Florida State.
Oh, yeah. Florida State
sucks.
They're really, really bad.
But Notre Dame, it's Notre Dame, man.
Jacksonville State was rolling Florida State the first half.
True. But Notre Dame has historically found a way to fuck it up, too.
All right. Look, you heard from Fake Dan.
Yeah.
Bet on Fake Dan for the. I'm taking Clemson for sure.
And Clemson's rolling Miami. Miami's a total fraud.
So do I. I think Miami's a fucking fraud, dude. A fraud.
So,
well,
I'm in with those. I'm good with those. Bet with us or against us at mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros. And we've been winning a lot of money this year, kids. It's been fun. So yeah, I'm going hard on that Tampa Bay game. I'm going hard on the Clemson game. And I'm going extremely hard on that Saints game. So it's going to be a fun weekend once again. And it'll be fun to see Clemson finally play a ranked team.
I might actually go hard on that Seahawks game.
Oh, yeah.
I might. We'll see. Yeah. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games this weekend.
I have to decide.
Last weekend was tricky. We navigated it, and we got out of there on the Monday night games.
I was 5-2 last week. I gotta figure out how angry I'm willing to be on Monday. at the Saints. You know what I mean? Like she'll be gone by then, so I can just sit at my house and be angry without affecting anybody else. So I might go ahead and bet it. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll find out. And then tomorrow, we've got live show in the afternoon, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be with, I guess I can spoil it, Tank Machine and Dakota Meyer, and the two of us.
Big boy show.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night, we have the vice presidential debates, which we will be going live with. Again, picture-in-picture, same as last week. That was a blast. So, look, you can go ahead and treat Drinkin Bros podcast on YouTube like a TV station. We will be going live all day long with RPR in the morning and then Drinkin Bros the rest of the evening. So put us on the YouTube, subscribe, and go to iTunes, rate us a 5-star, and leave us a quick review for D'Anthony Holloway.
The Alex Jones show is going to go up Sunday.
Sunday
night.
The Alex Jones show. Yes.
Craigers.
Sunday, Craigers. Sunday. There was some crazy editing that needs to go down for that. The show got out of hand, and it was a blast.
Well, it was just like it would have been impossible to do live switching on the board. So poor Giorgio has to go back through it and make sure the camera's on and whomever's talking at the time. It just takes time. Like there's nothing. We're not cutting shit out of it. I just want to make that clear.
No.
And you're going to enjoy it a lot. Yeah. Just let me go ahead and tell you, you're going to really enjoy this show.
It was one of the craziest podcasts we've ever filmed in our entire life. And Alex is drinking again, so it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was a blast. Go to drinkinbrostickets.com for all your ticketing needs as well. For D'Anthony Holloway, I am Ross Patterson. Did I even say your name right, or did I cheese that, dude?
You cheesed it off.
I beefed that cheese?
Just try that again.
I'll try it again. We'll do a take
For Dot's
two on
Pretzels and wait.
Oh, they sent you a ton, didn't they?
They sent me like an entire box of pretzels for sure, but like hats and shirts and bags that don't even exist. Like nobody can get them unless you work for the company.
No, apparently
I'm a sponsored athlete. This is what peak human performance looks like, and it's because of Dot's home-style pretzels from the Dakotas.
And they got that quarterback kid everybody keeps pressing up there.
Yeah. North Dakota. Yeah. He's probably on the Dots. That's
Drew Lance, I think his name is. Whatever.
I have no idea. No one knows what his name is.
They're not playing for a title, so I'll catch him in the NFL and then make my decision later. But for D'Anthony Holloway, I am Ross Patterson. Thank you. We are the Drinkin Bros. Good night, everyone.